Hi, my name is Mike Lawrence. This video is one of a set which is intended to provide a different interpretation of the experimental results that constitute the foundation of current physics. It is clear that the present explanation for what we see in the universe is good in many ways, but it is missing an overall coherence. My view is that we need to look at physics with new eyes and consider an interpretation that explains most things well, even if it does question just about everything. I do not disagree with any experimental results, only the interpretation of those results. And I do not say that the hypothesis that I'll be talking about in these videos is the theory of everything, and that everything I suggest is correct, but it is a start. Each video in the set will cover an aspect of physics. The whole set needs to be understood together in combination, because many aspects rely on each other, and any one taken on its own may not be convincing to those relying on the current interpretations, some of whom may actually be offended by the hypothesis. There will be links in the videos to other videos in the set that cover closely related or overlapping aspects. Within the boxes in the videos are representations of the motions of the particles and their composites, which I will be explaining more fully. I'm happy to answer questions where I can, perhaps providing links to where a deeper mathematical analysis shows why I say what I do, since equations and graphs do not make good videos, and will post replies where appropriate on Twitter. I hope you enjoy the videos and they enable you to better appreciate the absolute symmetry and simplicity of nature. But please remember, I'm not an experienced presenter, and although I state everything as if it were correct, this is only a hypothesis. This is video number 30, Relativity and Thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics requires that spontaneous processes are irreversible. This is best shown in the viscosity of the background of merged pairs, where every motion requires a rotational or motional energy loss. The action cannot be reversed and energy regained. Reversal of an action just results in more energy loss. So all motion loses energy, providing an arrow of time, which is a breaking of the symmetry of actions. There are no energy-free reversible actions within the background of merged pairs. This is the relativistic environment. When considering the effects of loop-to-loop interactions, for two nearby parallel loops rotating in the same sense, the chase action of the meons in the faster loop to the opposite meons in the other loop will always act to speed up the meons in the slower loop, whether relatively pushing from behind or pulling from in front, because the chasing forces within the faster rotating loop are greater than those in the slower rotating loop. The slower loop thus receives rotational mass energy until the velocities are matched, at which point no further change can be made. In current terms, this will be considered as a warm system heating up a cold system, but the cold one cannot heat up the warm one. The total frequency of the two loops in the frame of reference of their mutual axis of rotation will not change, but the outcome will be that the faster one will be slower and the slower one faster. For two nearby parallel loops rotating in opposite sense, the chase action of the meons will be to slow down both loop frequencies. The net frequency of the two loops in the same frame of reference of rotation will not change, but each will be smaller. The slowing will continue until the loops are at a mutual rate, probably set by the lower loop's locked-in frequency rate, after which photons will continually act to keep them at that rate. This slowing effect will not occur if the loops are so close as to become entangled and a void created between them, so that no forces between them can be carried by merged pairs. Entanglement is thus the creation of a void in the background between unmerged pair loops, where the loops effectively occupy that void together as the void lengthens into a tunnel where the merged pairs are excluded. If the two loops are loop and anti-loop that start at different frequencies, provided they do not entangle together, the initial net frequency will be expressed as a translational motion of the pair, whilst they then both rotate at the mutual frequency of the two. Related videos will be 21, Energy, Force and Inertia, and 25, Loop Symmetries and Stack Formation. Thank you for watching.